Hello, so today I wanted to play a session of White Box, fantastic medieval adventure game. So here are some very nice and concise character cards that were made by Matt Jackson. Thank you, Matt. So I cut these out from cardstock and I'm gonna put 4 down, and those are gonna be our characters, and we'll generate them out. We need some names, so let's just come up with a name. Let's use Maze Rats, sure, why not? Okay, our first character, 1 to 3 is gonna be male, 4 to 6 is gonna be female. Okay, it's gonna be a female character, and let's see what kind of name are they gonna get. 46. So that's going to be Orchid. That's a strange name. Orchid. Okay. So the way that these particular character sheets work is that they have a prime attribute. In White Box, you basically have either a +1 or a -1 to your attributes, or a 0. The way that Matt Jackson does it for his solo role-playing, and the way that I'm going to do it, is that I'm going to pick one attribute and that's going to be the high attribute. There's a bunch of ways that we could approach this. I mean, there are 6 different attributes, right? So we could just roll on that and see what their highest one is. 3, that's going to be their constitution. Actually, I am going to re-roll that because I want it to be something else other than constitution. 5, wisdom. Okay, we'll go with wisdom. And that's going to be at a +1. There we go. Orchid with a high wisdom. Wisdom is the prime attribute for clerics, so we should probably go with that. Okay, let's go with a cleric. As for their race, I'm just going to make them bog standard human. We'll figure out their equipment and everything later on. But let's actually give them some health here. So part of this is also me learning the rules as I go. So I haven't not actually GM'd a session of White Box or played it solo before, but I have read through some of the rules here. But I am gonna make some mistakes for sure. So let's actually see what the hit dice of the cleric starts at. It starts as a 1, so I'm just gonna roll a d6 for that. And they're gonna get a 1 for their HP, fantastic. Okay, that's a great start. I think I'm gonna make it so that I'm gonna re-roll any 1s. If I get a 2, that's fine, but not a 1, please. I get a 2. Of course. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So, Orchid, the cleric, with 2 whole HP. Yeah, that's gonna be just great. Before we go any further, let's also figure out maybe their spells. As per the cleric advancement table. Oh, actually they don't get any... Yeah, they don't get any spells at first level. They have to prove themselves worthy first. Well, that's gonna be quite hard with 2 HP, but Orchid is gonna try their best. We are also going to actually roll up some traits for them. So we could do that from Maze Rats, or we could use Knave for that. Let's see here. Yeah, Virtue and Vice. Let's go for Virtue. 16. That's gonna be Merciful. I'm gonna write that on the back. And let's go for a Vice as well. Merciful but vain. Okay. Merciful but they are vain. Okay, that's Orchid, the human cleric. Let's go with the next character. So again, 1 to 3 is gonna be male, 4 to 6 is gonna be female. It's another female. We're gonna go with Maze Rats again. Here we go. Okay, so that is going to be... Reds are going to be the 10s, so it's going to be a 62. Tuesday. These are some weird names. Tuesday. Their primary attribute. I'm going to re-roll it if it's wisdom. Let's roll that up. 6. Charisma. Okay. Tuesday has some high charisma. Well, at least a +1. Okay. What's their class going to be? I think I might want a thief for this. Although their primary attribute will be not charisma, but their dexterity. You know what? I'm gonna go with a thief. Let's go with a thief here. And for race, we're just going to go with human. A very charming thief. And let's see here. Their hit dice 1, so 6. That's good. Okay, so they have 6 HP to start with. That is good. Okay, for the sake of balancing things out, I think I'm gonna make the other 2 male. So we're going to roll on the male names table. And we're going to get 42. That is going to be Leopold. I think I'm just going to decide their primary attribute for this one. I'm going to go with strength, actually. I want this one to be a fighter. at a +1. So they're gonna be a fighter, and their starting hit dice is, I believe, hit dice of 1 + 1. So let's see if that's the case. Yep, that is. Okay, so let's roll. Oh god, again re-rolling ones. Got a 2. Oh god, the dice are not with me today. Okay, shall we make them a dwarf? I kind of like dwarves actually. So, no, why not? Let's go with dwarf. Yeah, let's go with a dwarf fighter. Class is going to be fighter, and race is going to be dwarf. And as for their hit points, as we rolled up, it's going to be a 3. Terrible. Alright, last character. We're going to roll up a male name. 66. Webster. Webster. Sounds like a nickname you'd give somebody in the 2000s. Primary attribute, I'm going to make it intelligence. I want a spellcaster. I'm going to put that at +1. So the class is going to be... Well, sorry, not spellcaster, magic user. And they start with 1 spell. So, magic user, I'm gonna make them a human, and they are going to start off with 1 spell. So according to Osric, I believe you have 4 spells in your spellbook to start with. I believe one of them has to be read magic, and then you can pick one, and the rest of them have to be random. So, okay, let's do that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 first level spells. So we're going to start with read magic, and then we're going to choose one. I'm going to go with light, and I'm going to randomize the other 2. Sleep. Read magic, light, sleep. Detect magic. Okay, so I'm going to write it on the back. Spell book. Read magic, light, sleep, and detect magic. And I think the spell that they're going to have loaded up, that they're going to memorize, is going to be sleep. Actually, no, let's make that light. There we go. Okay, and for their HP, it's going to be 1 hit dice. So, we're rolling ones. 5, okay. 5 HP to start with. And that is our party right now. Arcade, Tuesday, Leopold, Webster. I forgot to actually get the Virtue and Vice for the other characters, so let's do that now. For Tuesday, let's roll Virtue and a Vice. So Virtue, they are merciful as well, but they are wasteful. Okay, merciful but wasteful. Alright, how about Leopold, our dwarven friend here? Again, Virtue and Vice. That's going to be generous, but prejudiced. Maybe against humans? Okay, generous, but prejudiced. I'm gonna bracket humans. There we go. Maybe they don't really trust humans all that much due to events that occurred before. And as for Webster, we are going to go with a Virtue and Vice again, and we are going to get tolerant, but rude. Okay, tolerant and rude. So I'm gonna kit them out with some equipment, and then we'll come back to this. Okay, so as you can see, I have written out all the information for our adventurers, including their saving throws, their levels, their 2 hit bonuses, all +0 for now, as well as their weapons. I've also gone ahead and rolled up some money for them. According to the base rules, is 3d6 times 10, and Webster got not enough money to get a spell book that they could store their spells in. So Leopold, being generous, although they're prejudiced, they were actually kind enough to donate some of their money to Webster, just so they could help out with the chances of survival for this adventure. Orchid got a holy symbol that's silver, even though they didn't need to, because they are vain. So they had to get a silver one at least. And yeah, that's our party right now. So to figure out what the adventure is gonna be and where they're gonna start, I'm actually gonna be using Game Unfolding Machine here. And I'm going to start with a plot starting location. I'm just gonna roll a d20. I'm gonna get 2, which is an abandoned building, castle, ruins, or a mansion. I'm gonna go with a ruins here. I'm gonna have to write this down. New notebook, so let's break this in. Okay, so session 1, they're gonna start off in some kind of ruins. So what is going on in the ruins? So we're gonna roll for that. We're gonna get a 19. Chaos, despair, pandemonium, Order no longer, anarchy, or a lack of authority. Pick an area where law has no voice and will never have. I think they were captured by bandits, so I'm gonna write that down. Captured by bandits. Okay, that's an interesting place to start. There's a bit more that we can find out here, but I think we're actually gonna start them off in the middle of the action here. I'm gonna say that they were able to perhaps kill a guard and get back their equipment, and they have to make their way out of these ruins. So they're gonna start in a prison of some kind inside these ruins. So let me actually just move this up here a bit. There we go. Zoom that out a little bit just so you can see. And yeah, we're gonna start them off inside these ruins that are infested with bandits. I'm gonna say it's nighttime. One of them, I'm gonna say it was Tuesday, was able to break out of their chains and was able to actually free the other prisoners as well. What were they doing as they were going through? I think they were on the same journey to the same place because they did share some gold and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say that they were hired for another job of some kind. I'm gonna say they were hired to scout out the ruins. But little did they know, the ruins were already infested with bandits. So Tuesday, did they actually kill the guard? I don't think they did because it says merciful, but they may have been forced to. I'm just gonna use my oracle here. I normally use a d20, and if it's below a 10, then it's a no. If it's above a 10, it's a yes. And if it's a 10, it's a random event of some kind that happens. But in this case, I'm going to take 2 d20, and I'm going to pick the lower one, because I don't think he would have wanted to kill any guards on the way out. Okay, so no, definitely not, actually. So 2 is an extreme no. So maybe they were able to not even alert any of the guards so far. I think that's likely, given the situation that we got. Maybe they were able to get their equipment without alerting any of the guards, which will be good. Is that the case? I'm gonna say likely, so I'm gonna take the higher one. It's gonna be a 16, so that's going to be a yes. They were able to break out of their cells, and they were able to somehow get their way to the room where the equipment was stored, and they were able to retrieve their stuff back. Now they're going to have to either sneak their way out or fight their way out. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to be using X-Bane's deck of many dungeons, and I will, well, what I've done is I've put in the aces and the kings. The kings are usually the destination, and the aces are usually the entrance. But in this case, if they find an ace, then that's their exit out of there. So I've shuffled this up, so let's draw the first card. We got an ace right off the bat. So I'm actually going to discard that one. I'm going to pick the next one. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is where they found their equipment. So I'm going to put that right here. And I'm actually going to say that, yeah, they were able to find this place and they were able to lock pick their way in somehow. Actually, let's say Tuesday had some lockpicks on their person that the bandits didn't find. So I'm actually going to say that their cells were maybe on the other side here, and they were careless enough to kind of leave it there. So I'm going to go something like this. I'm going to say that this is where they were kind of imprisoned, in this cell right here. There we go. Okay, and they were able to come down here and they were able to retrieve their things. Okay, cool. So that's the situation right now. So they're able to all get outfitted, and they're gonna want to get out of this area as soon as possible and report back their findings to the town. So I'm just gonna draw another card and let's see what's in the next room here. Ooh, okay. So it says here monsters. I'm just gonna interpret that as one of the bandits. So I'm gonna move like this. There's this kind of zigzag, something like that. And there are bandits around the corner. So the question is whether our intrepid adventurers are able to actually notice this. So there are rules for surprise in the game. Normally anyone is surprised if they roll a 1 or a 2 on a d6. So in this case, I'm gonna say that they're not gonna be surprised, but the bandit might be surprised because they are expecting a place full of bandits, but the bandit may not necessarily know that the prisoners have escaped. So I'm just gonna roll for the bandit, and I'm gonna say it's on 1 or 2. It's a 2. So the bandit is surprised. So how many bandits are there to begin with? I'm gonna say that since it's a corridor, it's gonna be either 1 or 2 bandits. So I'm gonna say 1 to 3 is gonna be 1, 4 to 6 is gonna be 2. So it's just 1 bandit coming down the corridor here for some reason. Maybe to check on the prisoners. And the prisoners are probably going to be able to ambush this bandit. So I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna hide out around here, perhaps with the door open, and maybe call out to the bandit. And the bandit is going to come around here, come up, and get ambushed by all of them who are going to get their first turn in. So we're just going to go to human bandit, and their hit dice is 1. So this particular bandit has 4 HP. Okay, so there's a human bandit with 4 HP, armor class of 12. We're using ascending armor class here. And yeah, we're just going to wail on this bandit with our newfound equipment. We're going to lure him in here and attack. The first hit from Orchid, that is going to be an 18. It is going to be a hit. So let's roll a d6 for how much damage they do. They do 1 damage. So that's 3 HP left for the bandit. Again for Tuesday. And they're going to go with their sword here. So the sword is going to actually hit the bandit. And they're going to get a d6 of damage as well. 1 damage. Oh my god, we're hitting, but we're not. We're just doing glancing blows. Maybe we are still weakened from our starvation by the bandits. So the fighter is gonna come ahead and try to attack here as well. I actually just realized a mistake here. That over here as a battle axe should be a +1. I'm not sure why I wrote a +2. Maybe I thought it was modified by strength, but only the to hit is modified by strength, I believe. Yeah, he's going to get a +1 to his attack. 17. Oh, they're rolling really well. So 17, and it's going to be a d6 +1. And that's going to be a 6. And Leopold chops off the bandit's head. So the bandit is now dead on the ground here. Hopefully we didn't make too much noise. I'm actually going to roll to see if we made enough noise to attract anyone else. And we did not. On a 1, I would have said that we made enough noise. We were able to bring the bandit corpse in, and we're able to search it. So is there anything useful on this corpse? Maybe a key or something? I'm not sure, 50-50. No, that's a no, but maybe we find some kind of omen that there are more bandits here than we initially thought, and they are planning to maybe attack the town, so we have to get back as soon as possible. So with that, we hurry through to the corridor here. Again, I'm gonna roll for random encounters. On a 1, they're going to get another 1. They're not. And I'm just gonna draw another card here. Ooh, okay. A very twisty kind of area here. I guess say it leads down like this. And I'm actually gonna say that there are some bandits here, but there's an alternative passageway through. So there's a secret door through here. So the question is, does anybody notice that secret door? I don't think that's gonna be very likely. Let's actually see, what are the chances of them actually finding a secret door like that? Okay, here we go, secret doors. Secret doors can be detected by a player who is actively searching for one with a roll of 1 to 2 on a d6. Elves, however, find secret doors on a roll of 1 to 4 on the d6 when searching, or may sense with a 1 to 2 on a d6 chance that something is amiss by merely passing by a secret door. So I'm gonna say that they hear some people around here, right? Let's see again. Are there more than one of them? Because it says there's a monster here. But I'm gonna say it's actually over here, so if they find the secret door, they might be able to pass through. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll a d6 and see how many bandits are in this area here. Okay, there's gonna be 2 of them. I don't think we want to mess with that. So I'm gonna say that out of all these characters, the only one who probably is going to be possibly smart enough to notice that there's a secret door is either Tuesday or Orchid. Orchid because they have a wisdom and they have intuition, and Tuesday because they're a thief. So I'm gonna give them a 1 in 6 chance each to find that secret path. So no to Orchid and no to Tuesday. So they don't find the secret path. So in their way are 2 bandits, and they don't have much of a choice here. They're gonna try to get the element of surprise here though. So the question is, are the bandits surprised? The bandits are not surprised. they may have heard some sounds coming down the corridor there, and they are not surprised. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll for initiative. Red is gonna be us, blue is gonna be the bandits, and we are going to get initiative. So we're able to get the first swing in, which is great. So Orchid is going to swing, gets a 14. So bandits, I should write down their stat blocks here. Bandit, they have an AC of 12. They have a HD of 1. Okay, so they are going to be able to hit, but the question is how much HP these two bandits have. So one of them has 5 HP, one of them has 1 HP. So Orchid is going to swing for the one with, I think they're going to swing for the one that looks a bit weaker. So they're going to take out this one, and they're definitely going to do enough damage to kill them. But we're going to roll anyway. They are able to. So his friend is now down. We're going to have to do a morale check here. Okay, 12. They get a 7, which is going to be hold. So what they're going to do is that they're going to stay put and they're going to keep attacking. That's fine because we still have 3 more to make their attack. 15 is going to be a hit. What is with these rolls? So Tuesday is going to hit with her longsword, 3. So there's 2 HP left on that bandit. Let's roll that again. There we go. Leopold does not hit, unfortunately. And as for Webster, Webster likewise is just barely not able to hit. So the bandit, I think, in this scenario, he just saw his friend get cut down and there's these 4 crazed prisoners out for their blood. I feel like the bandit is gonna shout for someone to come help. I think that's likely, so actually I'm gonna roll that up. And they're gonna use their turn to shout for help, if that's the case. That is a 19, that's a yes and. So they're definitely going to shout for help. Now the question is whether anybody hears. I'm gonna say, normally it's a 1 in 6 chance of noise being enough to attract somebody. I'm gonna say it's a 2 in 6 chance because they're using their entire turn for this. 4, nope. They're shouting, but nobody seems to hear them, at least for now. So we are able to take our turn and we're able to try to cut him down again. Orchid misses. Tuesday misses. Leopold gets a natural 1, which means he's gonna lose his next action. And Webster, I think all of them are tripping over themselves trying to get at this bandit. But Webster is actually able to damage this bandit for d6 minus 1. Okay, they have 1 HP left, I believe. I'm gonna roll for morale again, because now they're on death's door. They're going to get an 8, which means that they're still gonna hold their position. And they're gonna yet again scream out for help. I think this time is going to be a 3 in 6 chance. No, nobody comes for this poor bandit. And we get another shot in. And finally, Tuesday is able to land a hit in. And they are able to finally kill the bandit. So we have 3 dead bandits in the hallways now, and not a scratch on us yet. Very lucky. One thing I haven't been doing is actually figuring out whether they are actually dropping any treasure here. So they say the amount of treasure a monster owns or guards is usually related to the monster's HDE. For a bandit, it's going to be 1. So to keep things simple, I'm just going to take their XP, which is 15 times 1, and that is going to be the total value of their treasure, give or take. So I'm actually going to say that so far they have gotten about 45 gold, which is quite a good haul, and they're coming through this area now. They still have not found an exit yet, but I'm hopeful. Next card. Ooh, we found a side entrance. Okay, so go through here. We don't know what's in this room yet. It doesn't say it's locked, but this might be the way out. Side entrance, okay. So I'm gonna say that there might or might not be bandits in here. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna have Tuesday listen at the door. So thieves have a special skill called thievery. And I think they're going to use that. So the thievery skill is right now the 2. So they have a 2 in 6 chance of being able to hear whatever's on the other side, but they're always gonna think they're successful. So they're gonna fail, but they think that they don't hear anything. So there's nothing inside there, at least to their knowledge. Is there actually anything inside there? I'm gonna say it's a 50-50 chance. And is a 10 is a random event. Okay, so how I like to do random events is this. I like to use an action subject table, and GUM has one. So we're going to go with action and subject here, D100 each. So it's going to be 41. Ensure 34, and this is related to what's in the room. Ensure energy. It's a feasting hall, or at least it's a place for the bandits to dine. So we're gonna put table there, maybe some plates here and there, some chairs, and maybe a cabinet here. And over here there's a secret door, and it's where they keep some of their treasure. So we didn't hear anything, so we're just going to come in actually, but there are people here, so, or at least there's something of importance here. So how many bandits are in here, I guess is the question. I'm gonna say that since this is a dining hall, I'm actually gonna up that to a D4. That's 4 bandits inside. Okay, so in this situation we might be surprised and they might be surprised as well. So I'm actually gonna roll for both. Red is gonna be us and blue is gonna be them. We are surprised, they are not, which is really bad. So as we come in, we are taken by surprise by this group of 4 bandits. And we're gonna figure out their HP. So one of them has 4 HP, one of them has 1 HP, one of them has 5 HP, and one of them has 6 HP. I'm gonna say that the 6 HP one is potentially a leader. Actually, I'm gonna ask that as a question. Is there a leader among the bunch here? I'm gonna say that's likely. Yes. So this is going to be the leader here. And they're gonna ambush the players, which is horrible. I'm gonna say that they're all wielding swords. So this is really bad. Who are they gonna attack? So for the first one, who's the target here? Webster. That's bad. They could die in 1 hit here. This could be it for our magic user. They are going to miss, thankfully. This is quite scary. The next one is gonna try to hit as well. They're gonna try to hit the thief, who definitely did not expect this situation. They are going to hit the thief, and they're gonna do d6 damage. They might actually kill Tuesday right off the bat here. 2. Okay. So Tuesday now has 4 HP. The next one is gonna attack as well, and they're gonna attack Awkward. They're going to miss. And the final one is gonna attack Tuesday again, and they are gonna hit. Oh no, this could be it. This could be it for Tuesday. Tuesday is dead. Oh no, we've just lost our thief. We only have Orchid, Leopold, and Webster left. And I don't think they're feeling so great right now. Are they able to determine that this guy is the leader? I'm gonna ask for Orchid with their wisdom. Are they able to kind of figure that out? And then I'm gonna ask for the rest of them. So Orchid is gonna get a 2 in 6 chance. They are able to determine that this is the leader. So they're gonna go for the leader and try to use that to get everybody else to surrender. So Orchid is going to do an attack here. 20! That's a critical. There's gonna be a d6 times 2. Oh no! God damn it! Okay, that's going to be wasted. So the leader gets hit, but not by much. They go down to a 4. Leopold is also gonna attack the leader, sensing that Orchid has a plan here. Leopold is going to hit the leader, and they're actually going to do 5 plus 1 damage. They kill the leader outright. Webster is gonna take this time to cast the only spell that they have memorized, which is light. Let's see what the rules are in here for that. The caster targets a person or object which then produces a light about as bright as a torch with a radius of 20 feet. Yeah, 1 hour plus 10 minutes per level. So it's gonna last about an hour. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cast the light at one of these individuals and blind them for the rest of the fight. You're gonna use light to blind specifically one of these 3. So I'm gonna roll it randomly. Yep, it's going to be this one, the first one. I was gonna make it 1 to 2 is this, 3 to 4 is this, 5 to 6 is this. So they're gonna blind this guy, and they're not gonna be able to see. They scream, groping at their eyes, and this kind of like light flares out from them. They're gonna have to make a morale check at this point, because that is some really bad stuff that is happening to them. Ooh! They're actually going to, I believe, fight for an advantage here. So they're going to try to somehow gain an advantage. I think they're going to try to pretend to surrender. Now, the problem is, do we get fooled by this? Were any of us merciful? Yeah, so Orchid, the cleric, is actually merciful. And I don't think that they will, in their best interest, harm somebody who is surrendering. So the bandits are going to pretend to surrender and then try to attack us when we don't expect it. Are we going to fall for this? It's going to be a 50% chance that we get fooled. Do we get fooled? No! A no end. That's a 1. We do not get fooled. Even Orchid, who is normally merciful, is able to see through this deception. And they are all going to attack again. So they use their turn to plea and try to surrender, but all of us are just gonna attack. Orchid doesn't feel very good about it, but they can tell that it's a trick. So we're actually going to swing at the ones who are not blinded. So Orchid is going to take a swing at the first one here. 17, that's going to be a hit. And that is going to be 2 damage. This guy is gone. Next bandit. 7, that is not going to be a hit. And finally, Leopold the dwarf. 9, that is also not going to be a hit. So sensing that they are not able to actually win this through deception, the bandits are just going to get back to attacking, I believe. Now, the one with the light, I don't think they're going to be able to hit very well. So I'm actually just going to say that they're going to try to resist this. Let's go with a saving throw. So I'm going to say that they have a 14 for their saving throw. And they're going to have to get a 14 or higher in order to resist the effects for now and be able to see through the light. They got a 15. They are able to see through the light, at least for a moment, and they're going to attack one of us at random. I'm actually going to roll that, and who it is going to be Leopold. Leopold gets attacked. This is bad. Leopold only has 3 HP. The bandit who is blinded, unfortunately, is able to get an attack in on Leopold just by swinging blindly, and they deal 1 damage. Being very lucky here. Leopold is down to 2 HP. And the other one swings normally. And who are they gonna attack? They're gonna get 19. And I hope to God it isn't Leopold that they attack. It's going to be Webster. And Webster is going to take 2 damage. This is very deadly. They should not have come into this room at all. I think our intrepid adventurers are gonna keep going. They were angered by the death of their companion, and they're gonna keep going. The blinded person, I'm going to say, is gonna be fairly easy to hit them. So I'm actually going to deduct 4 from their AC, which is gonna be an 8. So Orchid is gonna swing for that, and they're gonna hit, and Orchid is going to deal 5 damage, outright taking out this guy. And Webster and Leopold are gonna focus their efforts on the last remaining bandit who is trying to dodge away from all these attacks. They're able to dodge away from Webster's attack, but not from Leopold's. Leopold does 4 plus 1 damage. They kill the last bandit, and the combat is over. So they rush over to Tuesday's body, and Tuesday is unfortunately indeed dead. They go about grabbing some of the items as Orchid does a prayer over Tuesday's body. In addition to grabbing the gold off the bandits, they are also going to salvage some of Tuesday's items here. So I'm going to say that Leopold is going to carry the rest of the rations with him, and the lantern, I think, is going to go to Webster because they have 1 hand free, and the bow I'm going to give to Leopold as well. So bow short -1, arrows 20, and somebody needs to take the thieves' tools. I think let's have Webster take it. There we go. Unfortunately, we have our first death, and we are going to get the money off of these bandits. But here's the thing, there's a secret room here. I'm gonna give each of them a 1 in 6 chance of actually discovering that room. So I'm gonna roll for all of them, and if we get a 1, one of them does. I'm gonna say it's Leopold. Being a dwarf, he's familiar with architecture, and he notices something strange about the stonework in this particular room. He's able to find a switch or something that's able to actually get him access into this room. And inside they find the bandit's haul of treasure. So in addition to 15 per bandit, so that's going to be 60, they are also able to actually find the bandit's treasure box. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll on this and we're gonna see what treasure we get from this. We get a 1, which is bad. So unfortunately, for some reason, most of it was pilfered away, which is very unlucky for them. So they're only able to get 15 more gold pieces out of this. But that is still a substantial haul. So in the end, all things said and done, they got 120 gold pieces. And they're able to escape out through the exit there. But before they do, they run into some more bandits. Now the question is, how many bandits? I'm sure they made some noise, and this is why it is happening. But I think they're going to actually run. So the first question is, how many bandits are there? I'm actually going to ask, is it more than one bandit who comes around? There's a 16, there's a yes. Not a strong yes, so I'm going to say there's 2. Are the bandits surprised? And are we surprised? So we are on red again. Neither of us are surprised. Who gets initiative? The bandits get initiative. That said, we could also try to intimidate them. But the bandits are going to actually get the first attack in. Who do they attack first? 2. Orchid. That's bad. They have 2 HP. 3. They miss. Okay, the first bandit misses. And the second bandit is going to attack Webster with 3 HP. And they're gonna miss as well. Now, we're going to try to... I'm assuming that this is happening in this corridor. So we're going to instruct them that we've killed their leader, flinging open the door. At least Orchid is going to try to do that and going to try to intimidate them. Is this going to work? I'm going to actually roll on their morale to see whether that works. So Orchid is going to do that action, and if it doesn't work, Webster and Leopold are going to jump in and attack. This is going to be a 7. 7 is going to be a hold. They're going to keep attacking us. Webster and Leopold are going to see that their face turns to anger, and they're just going to attack. So Webster is going to attack the first one, but first let's figure out their hit dice. 3 and 2. Okay. We're able to hit one of them for 4 damage. -1 for the dagger, but that's enough to kill them. The remaining one must make a morale check on their turn, but first Leopold is going to try to kill the other one as well. He gets a 20 times 2, which is going to be enough to kill them as well. I don't think we're even going to stick around to loot these particular bandits. We're just going to flee. And with that, we are out of the ruins that we were trapped in. That was quite deadly. At least for Tuesday it was.